Welcome back to another episode of Bowhunt or Die, guys. Starting to do things a little bit different here this year. You know what? We've got a great team. It's a large team, Justin, and we want to do things different than what we have in the past. You know, generally our show comes out on Friday mornings, but with the amount of content we have and the different things that are going on, we want to keep you up to date with the most current happenings in the bow hunting world.
So we're going to start bringing you guys multiple episodes every week. Most weeks it's going to be 2, maybe 3 if we've got enough content and enough time to get it all out to you.
Maybe 4, you never know.
I don't know about 4. Brad and Brandon are going to kill us, but you could definitely expect more episodes of Bowhunt or Die all fall to kind of keep you guys updated with our season. So with that said, we're going to jump into my hunt from last Friday night, and then we're going to jump in a tree with Todd for his very first sit of the year chasing whitetails here in Illinois. So let's take a look at those now. Well, it's Friday, October 5th, and we're in for a pretty bad weekend weather-wise in terms of both rain and wind direction. So decided to press my luck this evening and try to go get a quick hunt in. We got another round of thunderstorms that's going to be here in about 4.5 hours. Right about dark, it's supposed to start raining. So my little guy Joey is headed out with me for his first sit with me of the year, going to the mantis blind that we set up a couple weeks ago on our clover chicory plot that's been producing some pretty good photos for us this year. So we've got 2 different bucks that we're looking for in there. We've got a big, wide, old 8-pointer that does not have a name, but I did have an encounter with him last year when I was with Dustin. Almost shot him late season in the beans. And then the bigger of the 2 deer is the one with the bum knee. He's a big mainframe 10 with a couple kickers. He's probably the biggest scoring deer on the farm, but he's a very small body deer, very, very odd deer. Big rack, small body. But those are the 2 bucks that have mainly been over on that side of the farm all summer long. And then of course we got a pile of does. So not sure if I'm gonna shoot a doe or not tonight. We'll make that call if one happens to walk in front of us, but we got about another 1.5 hours to drive and we'll be there. Hoping to climb in a blind by 5. It's dark at around 7. Gives us 2 hours to sit and try to get something killed tonight and get the heck out of there before the thunderstorms roll in. So hopefully the impending storms and weekend of bad weather have these deer up on their feet kind of last minute, trying to get a little bit of food before these storms roll in. That's the thought process. So we'll see you guys when we get there. We'll check in from the blind and see if something shows up. Fresh deer tracks all over the place, right by where we park. So weird. It's like the last place I'd expect to see deer tracks, but I don't know. So, heading into the blind. We got about almost a half-mile walk, so we gotta hurry up. We're late. But trying to get a 6-year-old to go fast. Interesting. All right, so we get to the blind. I just start getting things set up. I barely have time to get the camera arm out and get the camera on. I look over to my right and there's a deer 25 yards away and they're coming fast. just got in the blind. We were not even totally set up yet. And I looked up, and there was a doe and a fawn in the food plot. She came right in perfect at like 20 yards. I thought I put a good hit on her, but when she turned and ran away, the exit hole looked kind of far back and high, so I don't know what was up with that. So I'm going to rewind the footage and watch it. We still have a fawn and a small buck down here in the plot, so we're going to get the bow ready again in case a big buck comes in. We're going to hang out here for a while, see what happens. What do you think, dude? Pull on or die, baby.
Go to the phone again.
Alright guys, well, it's been about a little more than a half an hour since I shot that deer. We got some pretty heavy rainstorms just getting ready to start rolling in. And we still got plenty of light, so I want to get out and try to find her and get her out of here before it gets too stormy. Amazing blood for like 75 yards, and then it stopped, but I found some going, of course, down the hill. So it's getting dark quick and the rain's coming, so we're gonna follow this trail and see what happens. She can't be far. I mean, there's a giant pile of lung blood right here, bunch of bubbles in it, spraying everywhere, bright red. So she's gotta be here. She can't be far. Let's go find her. Well guys, wish I had better news for you, but I don't know what the heck happened here. The only thing I can think of, it was low. But I mean, it looked like it was a heart shot. We found blood up here with a ton of bubbles in it. I mean, there was blood literally everywhere. And then she got off this main trail and skirted behind this other food plot. And I don't know what the heck happened. We had good blood all the way until we left it when it started getting too dark and too thick for Joey to get through. So at this point, I guess we're going to give her overnight and see what happens. I know she's dead. So we're supposed to rain all night. We'll see if we're able to get blood in the morning. It's supposed to rain most of the day tomorrow too, so no idea if we're going to have blood or if this is going to be a pure search and rescue, but I know she's in here. The problem is she's getting awfully close to the property line at the back of the property, so no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. Got to admit I'm a little bummed, but I don't know. What the heck? What the heck, bud? What do you think? You ready to go home? He's ready to go home. He's tired and scared, so we're going to get out of here. See you guys in the morning. Back here at the scene of the crime. This is where this doe was standing when I shot her last night. I just want to turn my phone tracker on just to kind of keep track of how far we're going, but give you kind of a look at, this is where she was standing. Right behind me you can see there's the mantis blind that we were in. Here's the clover chicory plot that just looks phenomenal. Worked as planned, just didn't make the best shot. Unfortunately, that arrow blew through her so fast and went down this hill. I mean, I have no idea if we'll ever find it, so I'm not going to look too hard for it. We got the tracker on. Went back to the spot where we had like piles and piles of blood last night, just to kind of see if there was anything left there to gauge whether or not we would have something to go on today, and it's gone. I mean, it's literally 100% gone. Piles and piles of blood. So once we get to the end of this track, I mean, this is definitely not going to be a this is not going to be a blood trail. This is a pure grid search at this point. So we're going to get on the track, get down where we lost blood, and I guess see if we can find anything. Well, we're at the property line here, so if she went up into that bedding thicket up there, we're not going to get her. So not really sure where she went. Man, not having blood stinks, but right at the fence line I found a nice big old shed antler. It's all chewed to hell and it's old, but it's a pretty good main beam. It's a nice deer at some point. I'm gonna walk the fence line a little bit to the east and then we'll go back west. I mean, we came down that big hill, walked all that thick stuff over there to make sure she's not there. The question is whether or not she came down across this creek and went into the neighbor's property, or if she hooked around this hill and went down further into our property, maybe down into the creek. So really our only option, this neighbor doesn't like us, or really like anybody for that matter, so there's no way we're getting permission to go over on that side. So if she's in there, unfortunately she's gone, so nothing we can do about that. We just have to keep looking on our property and see what we can find. Man, it's thick in here. No wonder these deer love it. Oh, it's all the same tree. I feel like I should have brought my machete with me. Bushwhack my way through here. Here's everything I've walked so far on our property. You can see on the south, that's the property line right there. That's red, that's Last Blood, and that's where I'm at. So Last Blood was, I should say, right up here. My poor legs. They may never be the same after today. I'd like to say that I gave it my all today, but man, just don't know what happened here. Shot was too low, rained, no blood. Have a feeling she ran into the neighbors. Just a million different things went wrong. So not exactly how I wanted to begin my 2018 whitetail season, but it happens. So time to head out of here. We're gonna check a couple trail cameras. Couple hour ride home. There's a helicopter right there, just randomly, you know, so you can't hear anything. And I don't know, probably go hang out with my kids this afternoon. I doubt that I'll hunt, but we'll see. Call the wife, get her temperature, see how she's feeling, how much she's hating me right now. So see you guys later.
I was born for the unknown, the unforgiven, the unexplored. I was born for places that can only be reached by foot and by fortitude. For a world that tests perseverance and measures resolve. I was born to battle biting cold and treacherous terrain. For where trophies are not won, but rightfully earned. Lacrosse boots, born without boundaries.
Well, this is going to be my first hunt here in Illinois. With a little bit of luck, I'm hoping to see some action tonight. I've got a nice set that I hung in a cedar tree. It's sitting on top of a nice white oak. I mean, it was dropping acorns a month ago, so I'm hoping that a few acorns are still falling off that tree. There's a food plot not too far over, a little Heartland brassica and plot, so I mean, it should be perfect. The wind's out of the north-northeast. As long as they come from in front of me or up out of the one draw, it should be perfect. I mean, it's just a perfect set. So first hunt of the year here in Illinois. I am ready to dive in. It's been tough though. I just keep thinking about my pops all day today, and not being able to text him. He's like usually almost the main person I text every time I was in a tree, so that's gonna kind of suck. So here goes. I'm looking forward to this hunt tonight. First one, trying to get everything dialed in is gonna be fun. We'll have to see if something comes out tonight or not. All right, I'm getting closer here. Maybe 200 more yards to go. The wind still feels pretty good. I'm hoping they come from in front of me right to that white oak. Perfect. for my first hour sit. 4 different bucks came through here. They got behind this one-seater and made a scrape. I couldn't film that, unfortunately, but it was pretty cool seeing 4 different bucks. No shooters. Got about a half an hour left. Definitely a little bit of a feeling like a rookie on this first hunt here. Well, that was a great start to my season. Hopefully that continues. Doesn't get much better than that, I can tell you right now. $5. At least 5 different doe. I love it. The wind was perfect. Sneaking in here was perfect. This set's ready for the pre-rut. Gosh, Justin, I still can't believe that you didn't find that doe. I mean, man, that blood trail looked good, but I gotta tell you, when you called me on the way home that evening and you were telling me everything, honestly, I thought for sure you were just gonna roll in there that morning and find it. But it's hard.
Sure.
You know, you got your boy out there, he looks like he's having a blast, but when it gets dark and you're trying to carry him through the woods, and it's not so easy.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, there's so many things that I think looking back I probably would have done a little bit differently on that particular one. You know, the only reason I even tried to go after that doe, it was about 45 minutes to an hour after the shot by the time we got out there, was because there was massive rainstorms getting ready to roll in. I mean, sitting there looking at the radar, and I'm like if I don't do this now, there's not going to be any blood. And we got out, and that first blood we found was encouraging. I mean, when you find lung blood and a big pile of it, I'm thinking, you know, she's right there, you know, and as we tracked and tracked and tracked a little bit more, and now it's dark and it's thundering and lightning and he's crying, and I'm just like, shoot, you know, I'm stuck. I just like, I'm paralyzed with like, do I keep going after this thing? And I don't know what I'm gonna do with Joey, carry him around on my back, or do I just call it for the night knowing what's gonna happen, you know? And it did rain probably an inch overnight. There was no blood.
No, how about like 2.5, 3? Dude, it was unbelievable.
It was bad.
Crazy.
I mean, it was bad. So, I mean, gosh, I know she was out there somewhere. I just couldn't find her. I mean, I walked and walked and walked. I mean, I spent 4 or 5 hours just grid searching, and I used my app on my phone to make sure I didn't miss any logical areas, and I just, man, I don't know where she went. It's frustrating.
Yeah. And not to make this any longer than we have to, but I mean, I think that's one key point that it's good to talk about now is, I mean, with the technology that we have today with these phones and with these apps, whether you're on grid, off grid, Onyx, I mean, there's a lot of great devices out there. There's no reason to not have that stuff turned on at the beginning of listen, I mean, not to throw poor Tim Ainsworth under a bus from last year, but I remember going on track with him last year, and I remember, you know, he knows the program. I remember looking at him going, Tim, I think we're back at your deer stand. I mean, somehow we got turned around in the middle of the night. So use the app, keep track of it, and you know what? Generally, it's going to help you when you come back that second day, if it turns into a second day, to know where you've been and where you haven't been. So use the apps; they're great tools.
Well, and it's amazing to me how you think you covered an area really well, and then I look at the map, and it's like there's a whole section where it's like, well, I guess I didn't go in there, and then you walk over there, and you're like, yeah, I guess I didn't walk in here. You just thought you did. So, not the way I wanted to start my whitetail season personally, but it is what it is, and not a whole lot I can do about it now, other than just keep hunting. You know, as far as your hunt goes, man, great first hunt of the year. I know you're still knocking the rust off the camera setup and everything else.
You don't realize how, like any sport or anything you do, when you're tuned in, you're tuned in. Yeah. I mean, it was a mess. I mean,
you were not tuned in, is what
I
you're
was
saying.
Completely out of tune. I mean, seriously, it was bad. I mean, literally, I was late getting into the stand. You're still getting everything, like, where's this? Where's my extra battery? Just where's all your stuff? And I literally climb up in that tree, Justin. It's like, you know, bing! She's like looking right at me. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I'm like trying to get the camera out. It makes tough for self-filming, because then you just can't, you know, maybe say and film all the things that you want to do. But you know what? We've got a great season ahead. I mean, we've got cold fronts on the way. I mean, you know what? It only gets better from here all the way through to the end. So again, guys, we're going to be coming at you with more updates on a regular basis, so stay tuned. I think it's going to help you be more tuned in, and most importantly, we just don't want to get behind on the footage. You know, I think what makes this show so cool is the ability to see this stuff as close to as it's happening as possible.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. Make sure you check back on Friday for another great episode, Bowhunt or Die.
For more exciting action, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and receive live updates from our team members, as well as the latest happenings in the bow hunting and archery world. Be sure to share your photos, stories, and experiences as well. And don't forget to pick up your official bowhunting.com and Bowhunt or Die gear by visiting bowhunting.com/gear. We have a full selection of hats, shirts, decals, wristbands, and much more.
Are you gonna track?
No.
Are you gonna drink the blood when we find her?
No. You are.
I am.
Yeah.
I can't drink it.
I can drink it.
Only kids can drink it.